I said, let's watch the stock. And in fact, as you said, stock has been on a tear from September 29th. It's higher by good 35%. And in fact, it hit its 52-week high just a few days ago. Though in Friday's trading session, it did see some big profit booking. It was down close to around 7%. Let's run you through some details then, focusing on the shareholding pattern. The promoters have a good 75% stake. Institutional holding as well, rather high. So it's a tightly held company if you just look at it. I was looking at the financials of the first quarter as well. Nothing too great, nothing too bad about it. In fact, if you just take a look at it, there was a growth of close to around 22% on the top line. Margins were more or less stable at around that 23%, while the profitability as well was higher by a good 23%. But for companies like this, you need to look at it quite a few details. So I'll run you through a few details about the company. Now, they have close to around 1.8, 1.9 lakh members, and that's a big growth if you look at it in the last few years. So that number, in fact, has come off a base of close to around 30 to around 40,000 around 8 to around 9 years back. So the CAGR growth over there has been 11% in the last 4 years. If you just take a look at it, they add close to around 3,000 to around 5,000 members every quarter. That's the rough estimate that I've got if you just take a look at what they've done in the last few quarters. The accounting policy, when you pay for membership, upfront they account for directly 60% of what you have paid, and they incur a cost of close to around 30% in getting that particular membership. So the gross margin of there should be around 50%. The remaining 40% of your membership is amortized over the next 25 years. So at the end of it, at the end of 25 years, the members, their membership will be terminated after 25 years, but the resort is still with the company. That's one of the positives that we need to point out. In terms of ownership of rooms, 65% are their own rooms. The other 35%, they're doing some experiments, as well as they're looking at various locations. Now, other important points, as you said, Anuj, the hotel industry, these resorts, they have higher occupancy if you compare it with the hotel industry. The members as well, you know, the kind of procurement of members currently from digitals as well as referrals, they're getting close to around 53%. That number was only around 29% 3 to 4 years back. And 52% now they book online. So that's transparency more than anything, because at one point of time there were a lot of complaints that members are not getting their rooms and etc. So by members going ahead and booking online, that's showing faith that members now have in the system. If you just took a look at some of the positive, there's scope for big membership addition. All of us want a holiday. These are one of the options. Margin improvement, as well as I was telling you, digital as well as via referral. So then they're not incurring that cost in marketing as well as sales. That's the second positive. The service levels have improved. That's why you're seeing a lot of bookings online. And they had acquired this Finnish company. That's going to give them growth, and they can expand their wings into the international market as well. I was looking at various policies as well, and in fact, they're more flexible if you compare it with other global peers who sell these particular packages. In terms of negatives, urban macro environment doesn't improve. That's a big negative for sure. There have been various management changes in the last 2 to around 2.5 years. So that's as well a bit disconcerting. And the average rent per hotel room, if that falls, that doesn't look very good. And remember, the hotel industry needs to see high occupancy. Only then there is a play on companies like these, because otherwise the hotels will be offering you better discounts. Then there's no chance that there is a lesser scope for companies like these. Now, they have been going global. The international members are close to around 3 to around 3.5% in comparison to around 1% a few years back. Remember, in the United States, these kind of industries form close to around 5% of the total hotel industry. If that's the case, there's big growth potential, because India has a $18 billion hotel industry, and currently, in fact, it's only at around $20 million. So there is scope of improvement even over there. And as I said earlier, they're focusing on that Finnish acquisition. They're also targeting a lot of the NRIs moving to the Middle East. Back to you.
All right, now I feel like going on a holiday after all that talk.
Lata's listening, Lata. I'm telling you, Sonia, Lata's listening. She's going to grant everyone leave, I'm sure.
Okay, well, let's plan, right? No harm planning.
No harm at all.
And I also hear that MTDC, the Maharashtra Tourism, is going to tie up with Mahindra Holidays. So that could be another positive trigger as well. Yeah,
that's for people who travel local like me and domestic, not for you, not for Sonia, Ekta, Rima and the likes. I think me, Mangalam and Agam as well.
You can add me to the list.
No, Anuj, I'm a good traveler.
I'm a registered member of Mahindra Holidays, and I'm a very happy member of Mahindra Holidays.
You know, Anuj, I in fact I visited Pondi, and I had experienced Mahindra Holidays packages, but I went as a guest, so I don't know how exactly it works normally. It was a gift, a wedding gift. So
Oh, come on, Nigel. We all know the international trips that you're planning. Okay, then. Thanks for pointing this stock out. Mahindra Holidays, a big mover over there. I think 40% in the last 13 months. But let's get back to the markets because we're seeing a lot of activity in the mid-cap space now. So, if you pull up a couple of these stocks like Syngene, Godrej Properties, they should come up for you. Both of these stocks are sitting at fresh 52-week highs. And in fact, Syngene is all set to report its numbers, its earnings tomorrow as well. So ahead of that, that stock is looking quite good.